Hello everyone, I made this video inside Mufti Menk's controversial secret life, and I reacted to one of his video and his fans were not happy. I got actually 265 comments on this video. Very small percentage of people are agreeing with me and backing me up. It's very important for me to clarify my first video because it seems like a lot of people got angry and triggered. Also, I want to respond to some of the comments. So before I start this video, I want to say that I have nothing against Mufti Menk. Let's get started, but before we start, please, all Mufti Menk's fans, drink a ice cold glass of water. I'm going to drink too, so we all stay calm, cool and collected. Don't just react. Listen also what I have to say. First, I want to say thank you to this girl at Afia9641 who has single-handedly supported me and responded to a lot of these comments. For those of you who haven't seen my first video, please go ahead and watch all of it, but I'm going to share a very small clip of the video so you understand.
How many wives do you have?
Habibi, let me tell you something. I think it's none of your business.
Okay, so in my opinion was that it was our business to know how many wives he has. So a lot of people said it's none of our business, and this, I'm just picking this comment as an example. He's right, it's none of our business. He is not an influencer, not a public figure. He's a scholar and a teacher. So this commenter and a lot of commenters are in complete denial. They are saying that he's not a public figure and he's not an influencer. He's a teacher and a scholar. We listen to him for scholarly lectures. We don't look up to him. So they are listening to him, but they are not looking up to him. The denial is going really deep. Teacher is a mentor and they inspire others, and we look up to a teacher. Teacher is a positive role model for their students. A scholar is a positive role model for the students. What is the meaning of role model? That we are modeling their role, their behavior. Let's find out who Mufti Menk is. So Mufti Menk is a leading global Islamic scholar, and he is named one of the top 500 most influential Muslims in the world since 2010. He is very influential and he's influencing every mind that is listening to him. And when we are listening to someone, people don't learn by just words. We learn from example. There's more important things to achieve in life than to know how many wives he has. Besides that, he's someone who has benefited many people all around the world, and he shares a lot of beneficial knowledge. I think that weighs more than wanting to know more about his personal life. He'll share what he wants. Yes, he'll share what he wants, and I'll share my opinion about him as I like. I don't agree with the beginning of this message, because what this message is doing, it's a very common manipulation tactic, and it's called deflection. And that's exactly what Mufti Menk did in his interview too, when he said, I'm doing all these good thing, all of these things. Why do you want to know, and you want to know how many wives I have? That's deflection. That's not the question. The question was how many wives you have. No one asked him what kind of work you have done. So just why is he not answering his question? Instead, he's deflecting. He's undermining the question. He's trying to change the topic and making the question seem small and irrelevant when it's not. And this viewer is using exactly the same manipulation tactic of deflection. People use it all the time. So I'm not saying that it's negative or positive. We use these kind of tactics all the time in our conversation. But it doesn't change the fact that Mufti Menk should not be secretive about his personal life. And I'm going to share more about the difference between secrecy and importance of transparency in Islam. Islam teaches transparency, not secrecy. And there's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Why transparency is so important in Islam? Why Prophet Muhammad was so transparent? He's an Islamic scholar. So he is teaching all of us about Islam. So he's someone who definitely should be following Sunnah. So why Prophet Muhammad was so transparent? We know how many wives he has. His life was transparent. Why he didn't keep it secret? Because when people are keeping secrets, others can trust them. So for trust to develop, a person has to be transparent about his life choices. And there's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy, everyone has a right to privacy, but when someone is a public figure, a scholar, they should be transparent. So no one wants to know where Mufti Menk take his wives for dinner. We don't want to know where he's going on vacations. We don't want to know what he ate for breakfast or lunch. We don't want to know like what gift he gave to his wives. Those things are private, and then he should set boundaries and say that's none of your business, and that's perfectly appropriate. Just to answer how many wives he has, no, we have a right to know. Hey, look, for example, if we ask you the same way, like why aren't you wearing hijab? Why are you wearing sleeveless dress? This is actually a girl. I know you'll be offended because it's none of our business. Okay, but you did ask. You knew I'll be offended, but still you go ahead and ask that question. Who are we to judge you? Seems like you are judging me. And in this case, he hasn't done anything wrong. He's married, living happily with his family. How do you know he's living happily with his family? There are a lot of assumptions you are making. He hasn't shared much about his family. So stop making assumptions. What happened is that a lot of time when we are following a scholar, following an influencer, we put them on a pedestal. I see that all the time. And then we like everything they are saying or doing. We agree with everything of theirs. We stop using our brain. We become a mindless followers. We become just like ants. How ants follow, that's how most people become. They stop questioning things about that person because that person is so high up on the pedestal. We just follow everything they are saying. We just praise everything they are saying, and anyone who dare to question any action of theirs, those followers jump on that person. So that's what it is going on here. Lot of assumptions, lot of implication that he's happily married with his family. If he's such a private person, how do you know if he's happily married or not? He hasn't even shared how many wives he has. How do you even know he's happily married? He's the man who treats his wife like a queen. Again, just assumptions. How do you know that? So you should have a problem when I'm making videos why women should wear hijab and I myself is not wearing hijab. Then you should have a problem. I never make those videos. I make videos that I support women who wear hijab as long as it's not forced, and I support women who don't wear hijab, who choose not to wear hijab like me. So I am making videos of exactly what I am living. Okay, so I don't know why you are questioning me because I've shared all those videos because I believe in transparency, because transparency is important for trust to be built. If a mentor or a scholar is not transparent, then how can we trust that scholar's teachings? I respect Mufti Menk. I have nothing against him. I'm just saying that him making those statements doesn't suit a scholar of that caliber. Transparency is very important for a scholar, a person of his caliber. Why is it important? Because we need to know if he is practicing polygamy or not. If he's practicing polygamy, which is not haram according to Islamic law, but it's not very highly sought at. I grew up in Pakistan. I come from a very educated family from generations. Not a single person in my entire family, my forefathers, have been involved in polygamy. Everyone just had one wife. So it's very uncommon. It's not commonly practiced, even though it's permissible under some very strict conditions, that justice is extremely important among all the wives. And that's how Prophet Muhammad was doing polygamy, and it was centuries ago when he did it. It was just centuries ago. So to normalize it right now, it's not normal in societies. In fact, all these Muslim countries have banned polygamy from their country. Some of these Muslim countries have allowed it with strict restrictions, but in most non-Arab Muslim countries, it's not commonly practiced. It's very rare, and it's not looked up to. Most people just don't look up to someone who is practicing polygamy unless he is marrying like a widow with few children, and then the other one is also a widow with few children. That's different. But if a man has one wife and then he married a second wife much younger, never been married, no children, it sounds very selfish, but of course it is permissible. So, but then again, they have to practice it very justly according to Islamic standards. So I just don't understand, is he embarrassed of his choices? If he is embarrassed of how he's living his life, what is there's no invasion of privacy to tell someone how many wives to have. If someone say, where are you from originally? And I say, that's none of your business. I'm originally from Pakistan. I live in America for a really long time. But if I say that, they'll know that I am embarrassed of my heritage. Because I wouldn't say that's none of your business. It has nothing to do with my privacy. No, it's just a simple question. Someone is asking, I'm going to answer them, I'm from Pakistan. And if I'm hiding that information, of course they won't be able to trust me, or they'll think that I'm embarrassed of my roots. Look at this comment. I don't want to even talk. See, it's so low level that I don't want to speak about it, but I'm going to share. Only reason I'm sharing is because these people are so-called good Muslims, very good Muslims. And Muslim men should respect women. That's so important in Islam. And that's what Mufti Menk shows. He's so respectful towards women. And that's what I find very admirable about him. And most Muslim scholars, they are very respectful towards women. How is this a fair question? Did that person ask this kind of question with Mufti Menk? No. He asked, how many wives you have? Why did you have to go down to this level? Being a Muslim, tell me, why do you have to get down to this level? If Mufti Menk see it, he'll be embarrassed of you. I can promise you that. He will be embarrassed that you are asking this question. You are not following his teachings. No Islamic scholar will be okay with these kind of comments. All I was doing is simply disagreeing with something he said, very respectfully. Why don't you learn on your faith, whichever you belong to, standing showing your naked neck, arms? Look at yourself before criticizing others' private life. Okay, so you will see if a woman is voicing her opinion about any Islamic scholar, about any Islamic teaching, you will see this kind of comment. If she's not covered from head to toe, I can guarantee you that. And my answer to you, sir, is I'm going to just put the clip of Mufti Menk here.
Let me tell you something. I think it's none of your business.
Okay.
Wow.
So let's see the reply. My girl came to my rescue. Why did you click on her video, on the video of a woman showing her where her neck is visible? Why? Because in Islam, it clearly says in Quran that you shouldn't look at a woman. When you look at a woman, lower your gaze. And when you know I'm showing my neck, why did you click on the video, huh? Why? And then he replied, freedom, my choice. Yeah, so a man can have a freedom and a choice, but a woman can't have a freedom and a choice? No, Islam doesn't teach that. So if you're not doing the thing Quran has told you to do, you have no right to tell a woman to do something that you believe she should be doing. Okay? Disagree with me as much as you want to, but stay respectful.